And we are live. How's it going, everyone? I'm excited today to have a really innovative project from Solana joining us. This project takes the metaverse, wraps it up with DeFi, gaming, and play to earn. And I'll kind of just leave it at that because today I have DeFi Erwin or DeFi Land's Erwin, and he will be just kind of outlining the project. How's it going, man?
Hey, doing well, doing well. What about you?
Great.
And thanks
Amazing to
for
have
joining.
you on. And for those
Like,
who don't know, you are the team lead at DFL. So do you maybe want to jump on and kind of outline what your role is and how you guys came across to DeFi Land?
for sure, I really appreciate your inviting here. Really, thanks for that. And thanks for giving me the platform. So, my name is Erwin. I'm a team lead of DeFi Land, as you have mentioned, and we're trying to build the decent, like really, basically the idea was to gamify DeFi. Just that's as simple as it might get. And just to give a background check on our team as well, like me personally as well, I'm coming from tech startup industry, involved with augmented reality, virtual reality in the fintech industry as well, and also just trading with basically in crypto for 5 years already, and just trading with all my own assets and stuff. And like the basic problem that we everyone had with DeFi and explaining it with the friends and family members was that like your friends and family members just don't get why would anyone use DeFi. They still think it is a scam, and like the NFTs, like why would buy some PNGs with the pixelated images in there like for tens of thousands of dollars. It was really hard to onboard the retail users for us. So like we really wanted to somehow change that, and that was the inception of bringing DeFi into the life. It was a joke first, like to create a yield farming kind of meme with the Pepe and stuff, but then we actually tried to actually make that happen. And like what we didn't want to do is that we didn't want to be just another game for blockchain, because like there are a lot of games that just don't make any sense, as well as there are the games who are really good games, like let's say the Axie Infinity, but at the end of the day, Axie Infinity players don't know anything about the crypto or DeFi or anything at all. Like they just know how to play Axie. So we didn't want to be one of those. So we determined that we would be the educational platform to onboard the millions of the retail users through DeFi Land, to create a really easy to use gameplay and just kind of really easy to onboard. So that was the main idea, and then we added the main different gamification elements such as the craftings, like the stuff is coming crafting, the play to earn, the mini games and different stuff to kind of make the user experience even kind of enjoyable in a kind of way better to than just kind of going and just swapping and doing the yield farming. But definitely we have a really strong DeFi side. Mainly in the next update, we're gonna have all the major protocols such as the Saber, Orca, Radium, Soul Farm, and everything like the swaps integrated, the farming integrated. It's like everything you want to do on Solana you can do from DeFi Land as well. Plus, you have achievements and quests, so it's kind of gamified manner. And basically, that's the main point. And also, like the NFT sites, we are trying to gamify the holding of NFTs. Not only we're creating our own NFTs, which will be utility NFTs, such as let's say several different NFTs give you some specific abilities to kind of play the game or just kind of interact with the game in some different ways. But also we're adding already existing NFTs in DeFi Land, which gives you, let's say, if you have a Solana monkey business on your wallet, then you're gonna see some monkeys running around your village, and they will be interactable. Then you're gonna might give you some side quests, which you maybe earn some money out of it, and so on and so on. So that's kind of, we have really unique approach to the game that we are doing. So we're really happy to be leading this team and this project for sure.
Yeah, and I think that was incredible. I mean, you touched on a ton there, and I think obviously you couldn't have put it well better put. Just to take a couple steps back and unwrap some
Yep.
things. So to my understanding, you guys are looking to be a DeFi suite, something that aggregates DeFi at the end of the day. And this is kind of one of the fundamental products. Can you touch on sort of? I know you outlined it a little bit for maybe users who aren't new to or who are new to DeFi. What are they able to do on the current version of the DeFi Land platform that'll be released here in the near future?
Yeah, definitely. So the DeFi is the main part for DeFi Land for sure, as the name says. And the thing is that like for the not all there are two types of the users about the DeFi in the DeFi Land. So the first one are the people who don't know how actually crypto works, who don't know how actually DeFi works, and we are giving them the really good educational experience, which will be the practice mode, where they will be able to kind of play the game without any money on the testnet. So they will are introduced what the wallets are, what the liquidity providing is. They will have like all the different stuff explained with Solana 5 style animations. It will be like the in-game interaction. So it will be like gamified manner to learn, which will be really good for them to actually understand how this stuff works. So let's say whenever you swap in the market, like you get the car from your house to deliver what you sold, and like from the market it delivers from to your house what you bought and stuff like that. To kind of visualize everything in really really easy steps. So that's really, and also like there will be some quizzes afterwards for these crypto noobs, and like if you pass the quiz, you're gonna get the NFT in-game NFT, which you will be able to play the game and kind of earn some money afterwards as well. So that's the kind of one take. And another take is that like for the people who say that why would I ever use DeFi Land when I have Radium, Orca, or stuff like that? The thing is that you can use whatever you like from DeFi Land, and like there is no fee at all. So let's say if you swap on the Radium or if you swap on the DeFi Land, it's the same. So like you can choose. It's kind of gamify the Zapper experience where you have all your favorite platforms at the same place. It's kind of easy to use, and like plus you get the achievements and quests out of doing whatever you do on the Radium. So let's say if you swap 10 times, at least with hundreds of dollars of the worth of the swap, then you're gonna get the 10 DFL coins or maybe 10 Radium coins. Like thing will be that like you will be incentivized for doing some stuff as well. Plus, you have a music. We're gonna soon announce the partnership, really big partnership coming. Like you have the music, you have the chat, you have the friends. Like everything will be at the same place. So that's the biggest take of what's about to come soon.
Yeah, and I think that's really unique, and something that has a ton of value there is the fact that you guys will be aggregating these products. It's not like you just get on DeFi Land and it's a new interface to something like Serum, a
Yep.
new interface to something like Radium. You guys are actually taking all of these different products and going ahead and integrating them. I'm not 100% sure, but you guys are looking to integrate with Orca, Soul Farm as well. Are there any other ones coming up on the roadmap that you guys are looking into integrating?
So yeah, already in December, like the Christmas patch that we're gonna have, like to the Christmas mode and stuff, like with the lights and stuff. Like Radium, Serum, Orca, Soul Farm will be fully implemented. Plus there will be the Saber and I believe the DAX swaps as well. So like you can do whichever platform you like. So like we're gonna have the best price optimizer as well. Let's say if you want to kind of find the best price, we're gonna give it to you. Plus maybe if you want directly to just go for Radium, you will be able to do so as well. So like the, right now, those are the biggest protocols on the Solana. But if there will be some really good upcoming projects that people really want to see in DeFi Land, we're gonna be adding that at the light speed for sure.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And to circle back here, it really seems like something DeFi Land is doing is making a suite for new users, people who aren't necessarily familiar with DeFi. How do you plan to first onboard these users and really just get them into the Web3 kind of the DeFi space? Is how do you guys plan to do this as DeFi Land?
Yeah, so like there are two takes. So the first thing is that the referrals are the thing in DeFi Land. So what you can do, there are two stuff. Like the thing is that like you can just gonna refer your friend and they can become the active daily player of the DeFi Land. You get some incentives for that, as well as you can, let's say you have your friend that doesn't really want to try DeFi or can learn. You have tried to kind of send the videos or the Medium articles to them and they just don't respond or whatsoever. What you can do is that you can type this kind of person's email address and let's say send one Solana to them with your wallet. And what they're gonna receive on the email is that like they say gonna receive that hey, the person gonna send you the one Solana, and if you want to access this one Solana, then you have to play the game tutorial mode. So you learn about what the swaps are, what the yield farming is, what the lending and borrowing is, and stuff like that. And once you pass the quiz, you now can access this one Solana plus the NFT from as a gift from DeFi. And so like it's just really really easy to onboard your family members or friends. Like you can instead of just sending the videos, you're just gonna send just a really small invite to them, and it's just gonna it just takes 5 seconds. That's the one thing. And another thing is that that's why we chose the farming game, because like the farming game is the most easiest as well as the most adorable game to play. And like the average player age of the farm wheel was like 35 years. So like the thing is that like the more major guys actually kind of tend to find that easier to play their games, as well as kind of they love to kind of play these kind of idle games. So it will be really easy for them to, instead of just kind of going to Axie and just kind of sweating their way up to grind up and stuff, they can just enjoyably come into DeFi Land, just gonna learn as well as they enjoy their time while playing DeFi Land. So I believe these two takes will be really good reasons why we're gonna be onboarding the most users to crypto, and as well as like that's why we're not building our own swaps or yield farming and stuff, because like we think that we are best at the user experience, and like we are outsourcing we're helping the ecosystem as well. If we win, the ecosystem wins as well because we are running on top of them.
Yeah, I think that's a super cool take. Something that I've seen that has been integrated more and more does seem to be this easy onboarding of people through emails. I mean, this is just what people are used to. So throwing in features like this seems to definitely help more traditional people step into the crypto space. And then, yeah, while I was asking this question, I felt like it was a bit of a no-brainer. Like that's what the whole DeFi land model is. You guys are gamifying DeFi, making it fun, more appetizing for the average user. So I think that was very well put. To move forward here, I think it's no doubt that you guys have already had a ton of success. What did it mean winning the Solana hackathon and getting all of your guys' backing that you have? What did this mean for the project? Is this what really started to propel you guys forward?
Uh, yeah, actually, like as I said, like the idea for first, well, it was a joke. Like in the May when the idea came to me, it was just the kind of we'll just actually go and build this for fun, and there was Solana hackathon going, and like we thought, let's jump in. Like we jumped in the middle of Solana hackathon. Like we got the email from one of the Solana business dev that they really liked the idea. Like I thought that they were joking, and like truly I believe it was just a joke, but then they actually said that let's have a call. We had a call, like they were so happy to hear what we had to say and kind of share. Like actually that motivated us to kind of build the stuff, and we just kind of build this kind of the MVP of the game in several days. And then like we tried really hard, like we are really good at the building for sure, and like the jury I guess kind of chose us to be the winner, and like from there it was just kind of went uphill. Like we just gonna get the intro to all the investors. Like we got really like it was actually the domino effect, and the first block was kind of this business dev. I'm not gonna say the name, but like he knows for sure. As well as like the afterwards kind of winning the hackathon was the biggest stepping stone for us for sure.
Yeah, and that's amazing to hear. It seems like you guys really just hit the ground running. You guys successfully had your IDO. I could go two different ways here, but I guess a good way to go is just being on Solana. I imagine you guys have a lot of support. What made you guys decide to start building on Solana for DeFi Land?
Yeah, actually, like there are two reasons. So like the second one is not really like an obvious one. It kind of sounds silly nowadays, but the thing first one was that because Solana is really cheap and fast, and it's really important for the user experience. Not like let's say if we were building on Ethereum directly, like this game would never succeed or whatsoever. So like the Solana was really good bet to go for because like it was really cheap and fast and scalable infrastructure. That was the kind of main point. But also the thing, like let's say why we didn't go with let's say other chains such as the Harmony or the Avalanche or the Terra. The thing was that like the Solana was like we were building in the June, July, kind of deciding where to go, and like the Solana by the time was like at the $20, and no one was building a Solana. Like it was really kind of smaller community than it is nowadays. Like my personal thought was that to kind of go for the Solana because like this community is kind of small. We're gonna start small and then kind of move to the other chains as well, and they kind of enlarge the community. But that take was as time went, like the Solana skyrocketed, and like everyone went to Solana. Nowadays, this take was really bad, but like I mean, it was wrong, but at the end of the day, it just turned out to be really good for us as well because like Solana got the really good attention, and like we were one of the first gamification projects as well, and like we are still the only game that is launched, I believe. So it was like since September. So yeah, basically that was the reason why we chose Solana.
Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. I think that one is a no-brainer. I was expecting for sure one of the answers to be fast and scalable, of course. To move forward here, you did touch on some other chains. I know we are seeing the success of some other gamified DeFi projects. And this question may be framing it as competition, but I think it's honestly more bullish to see things like DeFi kingdoms having immense success, especially if you guys are sort of tapping into different users on different networks. Just curious though, how do you guys look to set yourself apart from other projects that are maybe looking to make a DeFi suite that is gamified as well?
Yeah, definitely. So I believe what makes unique DeFi, like first of all, like the all props to DeFi Kingdoms. I really like the art. I really like what they're doing, and like I really believe it's really good for the ecosystem at the end of the day. So the more projects like us are out there, like it will be way better for the adoption. So the difference, but anyway, the difference between us is that like they are creating the game, which is basically RPG game that is not really focused on education at all, and like it's kind of the RPG. If you're an RPG user who really is into the crafting and kind of doing some complex strategies, that's really good game, and I really like those kind of games as well. But for I believe for the kind of for the retail, if you want really to get the on board the people who are really willing to learn and kind of, if you really want to get the millions of the users to DeFi, it's not that's not the type of game you're gonna go. But that has kind of its sweet niche audience as well. But I believe that if you want to go for those kind of people, you have to be the mobile, you have to be really easy to play, kind of easy to learn as well. And like that's a really good thing about DeFi Land is that like we have the style that can be adapted to everything. Like you can do the audio streaming, you can do the concerts in there, you can do the chat, you can do everything you ever can we wish for, as well as we are running on top of already existing ecosystem projects. That's kind of another thing as well. And I believe the other games don't have that kind of flexibility with their styles because like they have chosen the path that they cannot really adapt to anything. But in Default, we can basically adapt whatever people might like or the retail might even want. So I believe that's the kind of biggest unfair advantage that we have.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. And even just jumping into DeFi Kingdoms, like I love the UI, I love the interface, but I can definitely see how some of the further game mechanics get definitely a bit confusing. So I 100% get that. And even just circling back, I think that was just a really good question for maybe people who are on the fence of whether they should dive into Solana, Harmony, Avalanche, kind of give people an idea, especially if they're looking at these different gamified projects. But again, circling back to what you're saying, I think it's amazing for the ecosystem in the sense that, look, you guys aren't building things that are fighting for crypto users. You guys are building
Yep.
products that are looking to onboard new users. So either way, it's a win-win. And seeing the success of DeFi Kingdom probably just makes me more bullish on something like DeFi Land. So I think that is incredibly unique. Something I do want to touch on, you guys are definitely like a NFT play to earn project. You guys are going down that path, but
Yep.
you have almost done a bit of a different launch than most NFT collections. Can we maybe touch on what you guys plan to do with NFTs and why you guys didn't go with a traditional NFT route as your first sort of launch?
Yeah. So the thing is that personally, the team, everyone in the team, like we're not really big fans of this generative art, like 10,000 unique generative art. Because like since the day one, like even like we had the actually this generative art already generated in the August, but like we decided not to go for that. So we had the kind of houses and land sales already prepared, but I really thought that it was really bad idea for the community. Like everyone gets hyped, everyone buys that, but like at the end of the day, the users who buy at the end, like the price is going down, like as we see right now, because like there were some good projects, let's say the Solana monkey that has this niche, like everyone then went for that kind of stuff. I really thought that it wasn't the right thing to do. So instead of that, going just kind of generating 10,000 NFTs and kind of making several millions of dollars, we thought that we have a funding, so we don't want to actually rock full our community. So what we're gonna do is that we're gonna create the game first, build the game first, show the community that we're actually caring about you, and we have like we're doing everything you guys want to do, and like we did that, and like we're doing still that as well. And what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna get these NFTs. There will be some kind of sale there for that, but also like it won't be like the everyone has a generative stuff. We're gonna create the equal stuff, like and you have like the same fishing rod, you have the same everything. And let's say if you want to have a better one, you should play the game and craft your way up, basically. So like no one gets some privileges or whatsoever. So if you definitely want to have a better NFT, you have to play the game and actually grind your way up, get some resources, and craft the better NFTs. And also like we're gonna be giving some of the really passionate players who were in the community as well, like the NFTs as well for them, as well as there will be some kind of sale of the NFTs done as well.
Yeah, I think that's truly unique that you guys sort of identified this saturation and decided to pivot and go a little bit elsewhere, and not sort of follow the trend of the 10,000 kind of collection pieces. So I don't know. That was some really cool insight that I got there. Kind of to move forward here, what play to earn? I mean, it sounds like you guys are looking to do fishing, and I know this is maybe
Yep.
getting a little bit further into the V2. Before we actually jump into that, I see someone in chat asking when the public start of the project is, and how will DFL be incorporated into the platform? Maybe that's two different
Yeah.
questions. It sounds like DFL a little bit further down the line, but just thought that was a little bit applicable before I kept going forward.
Yeah, sure. So the thing is that so we don't have like we haven't announced yet the hard date, but like the Christmas time, like plus minus 2 days is something like that. The time of the public testing, and we're gonna be adding some like we are gonna getting the features kind of ready and shipped. We have some several really good features, I believe, that people gonna like it. So like the Christmas time is the kind of approximate answer, and like the map and everything is kind of being decorated by the Christmas theme, and as well as about the DFL usage, like there were several different usages as well. So the main one is that like DFL, there will be the prizes and everything going in DFL. Like there will be rewards and stuff going in DFL. Like you can just earn some by playing the game. But the thing is that it will be used for several different stuff as well. So if you want to do a crafting, that you have to own the DFL. If you want to do a the NFT sales will be done in the DFL as well. Like the marketplace that we're gonna are building for NFTs will be in DFL as well. And also the thing that you want to do, like there we will be adding the competitions as well later. Like at the end of the 2022, I believe we're gonna be adding the multiplayer stuff. So we're creating some kind of Pummel's Party, Mario Party kind of style, where you have like a bunch of mini games and you compete with different people. Like that's kind of stuff will be recurring in DFL as well. So like mainly everything will be done like the crafting, the upgrading, enchanting, and the kind of playing with other different players will be done in DFL. So that will be the main use case of our currency in the game. As well as we're going to be adding the secondary currency that will be mainly used for the in-game transactions, like the small in-game resources, just doing some stuff. So, but the DFL will be used many different ways for sure, and we're going to be either burning some kind of several tokens, or maybe we're going to be distributing these rewards to the stakers as well.
Gotcha. And it'll just kind of be a way to tie up the platform, incentivize users, really bring the true gamification play to earn. I think that makes a lot of sense. I think this would be a great time here, Erwin, to just pause and maybe jump into the platform a little bit and check it out. I know we were chatting a little bit before, and I'm
Mhm.
actually yet to use it. So I
Definitely.
started to jump in here. Let me just go ahead and sign up via my email real quick, and then I'll pop up my stream on here. I'm
Sure.
curious, what is like one of the biggest things you guys have learned from this closed alpha you're doing? And
Uh,
sort of, yeah, like what is your take on the platform so far as I boot
Yeah,
this up?
alpha from alpha, right? Yeah, definitely. The thing is that like we have learned a lot of different stuff, and like I want to truly appreciate it and kind of thanks to everyone who's testing the game, and like they are helping us a lot. Like we have fixed at least of like we have a kind of the board of the bugs in the kind of in our project group. Like we have already we're at the top four digits already. So like we fixed the bugs like all day long, like for these 2 months, and like we have learned that sometimes when you feel that what is the easiest part is the hardest part. That's what we have learned for that, because like we thought that the gamification would be the biggest problem, but actually integration with all these different DeFi protocols is taking a lot of time of ours, and like the maintaining all of those is really hard. Actually, like that's why we're actually right now trying to outsource those kind of infrastructure as well. So like once we were building the game, like there was no one trying to aggregate different swapping platforms, but nowadays there are. So like we're gonna be trying to kind of outsourcing the DeFi part to other really good projects as well. So I believe the biggest take was to kind of not to underrate some DeFi problems for sure.
Awesome. And I'm just about to pop in here, but that sort of segues into something else I wanted to ask. And I think inherently something, and maybe you can loop me in because I'm not 100% there on sort of the developer sides of things, but definitely building an interface and looping together all these smart contracts. It does build a sort of extra layer of risk for the users. What do you guys sort of have for a remedy as that, or how do you guys go about security and auditing? It sounds like doing something like a alpha is the right way to go, so you can test these things out in a more controlled environment. But I'm curious what your guys' thoughts are on that.
Yeah, definitely. So the thing is that like about the security, we are super secure. Like that's another thing because because we are not building our own swaps or our own yield farming and stuff. We are super secure as like whenever you click on the swap in our game, you're actually clicking the swap on the Radium platform. Right? It's just the same thing. Like we're just calling the same functions and stuff. So like you just kind of if you want to hack us, you have to hack the Radium basically. So that's really good thing. And that's about the security. But also we have already done this certic audit. So like we have done with it, went with the certic, and like we have a pass and everything. So we have the audit report as well. The thing is that like we will be always kind of going through the security audits as like we're gonna be adding all the time new features. So we're gonna try to kind of make sure that everything goes fine. And that's also the really good thing is that we are in touch with several different projects. And what we do is that we are testing and kind of trying to kind of hack all the different like each other's platforms. Like whenever let's say we create the update, we send it to them and they just try to hack. They give us the feedback and we do the same as well. So I believe that's what makes the all of our projects really hard to hack as well.
Yeah, that's sweet to hear that you guys are doing the due diligence and definitely working together. And I guess what it comes down to, right, is users just need to understand that they are trusting other platforms' smart contracts as well. But these are typically some of the larger, more regarded
Yep.
projects in Solana you guys are working with. Orca, Radium, Soul Farm. These are all projects that have been around from the beginning and are pretty robust. I'm going to throw up my screen on here just for everyone who will have missed the 1 second. Here we go. Just for everyone who missed sort of the sign up phase, Erwin was nice enough to give me a code to participate in the pre-alpha. I went ahead and just signed up with my email real quick, and now I am taking on, and this is my first time jumping into DeFi Land. So we just have this little beginning tutorial, it looks like, and we'll just kind of go through here. Feel free to add any comments on here, Erwin, but I will try to do my best to figure out what's going on. This looks like just kind of basic portfolio tracking and leaderboards and achievements. I don't think we got too far into achievements. You maybe want to touch a little bit on those.
Yeah, so yeah, definitely. So you have to kind of go through tutorial, which is really simple right now, but definitely it kind of gives you kind of idea what it actually does, the different buildings. The achievements actually are really important stuff in our game. So it's actually like to incentivize doing different stuff like the swapping, yield farming and stuff. You can actually, whenever let's say we have several different types of achievements, which are the game based and also like the blockchain based. Like first of all, let's say pet your animals for 15 times and you're going to get the achievement, and if you get the achievement you get the XP as well as maybe in the future some DFL as well. That's some kind of one types of achievements. And the other part you have the achievements such as let's say swap at least 10 times in the market building with $100 of the worth of the tokens, and you're going to get the 5 DFL tokens. You have different trophies, you have different names on top of that, and you'll be able to showcase your trophies on your profile, so other people once they visit you, you're gonna be able to kind of flex with those, as well as you earn some money out of it as well.
Yeah, so that's great. It's almost like a way to incentivize and gamify the use of the platform, really just making people involved and having it an easy onboarding process. So here's the market you were talking about. Looks like you can swap here. We'll definitely jump into that, as that's just a super simple DeFi sort of product people use dexes. So I'm just going to go through here. It looks like Serum and Radium are currently what are on the markets, and Orca is coming soon. The Y statue, I did see this on Twitter a little bit. That just looks like a little message board with some sorts of alpha on there. Fun messages overall, yeah.
Definitely. So yeah, there's a kind of the spy statue is mainly used for kind of giving some kind of funny quotes or sometimes deep thoughts as well. And like Seed Laboratory is basically providing liquidity, where you create the LP tokens, which are called the seeds in our game as well.
Awesome. And those would be on Radium, I imagine.
Yeah, for now it's a Radium.
Perfect. And then here's the farms. This is kind of the fun aspect of the game, in the sense is this is where people are earning the yields. So this is definitely kind of that idle earning. I think the cool part about this is it's idle earning, but you guys haven't even really incorporated the secondary layer on top of it. This is just using DeFi mechanics that already exist. So what's going forward, I think will definitely be exciting there. Farm board.
Just to check the existing farms and kind of APYs and stuff.
Awesome. This looks like a mini game. We might need to jump into this for a second if it's live.
So yeah, it's kind of the small mini games, but we're gonna be adding some more. Here's another mini game as well.
Perfect. Look at that. According to you, there's 2. There's going to be more. It sounds like that was almost recited or something, but definitely wasn't. So last thing, bug report. This is again what we were talking about with the alpha, just kind of getting in, letting people test the platform in a more controlled environment before letting loose. And then for myself, I can move with right click, zoom with the scroll wheel, and rotate with the mouse wheel and moving the pointer around. Also some keyboard controls. I'm just going to jump right into this and see if I can't figure it out here.
I have a GM
into in the village. So I'm just going to come over here to the market. Well, first of all, you can see I have 1951. I just sent some SOL to this wallet, so I'm assuming this is my SOL balance. It looks like you guys have fiat on-ramps here.
Yeah, we have, and we're gonna be adding some more as well already. The balance you see, the $19 is actually the amount of your portfolio. Like you have $19 in total net worth of the portfolio.
Perfect. And is there somewhere I can go and just check that in total? That's the house, right?
So yeah, that's the house. You can track your portfolio, top performers, bottom performers. As you see, Solana, you have only Solana right now, so that's why you have only SOL in there.
I like that you guys have the sunflower as SOL. And then you have the achievement board, log in for 3 days straight. Looks like there's a ton of other ones. So this is sort of what Erwin was talking about. Inventory coming soon. I imagine this will be for the NFTs. And then the leaderboard. How is this XP calculated? Is it from the achievements?
Yeah, it's from the achievements plus the mini games plus the petting your pets. Like it's basically just can be gotten from everywhere each action, but we're gonna be adding some more as well, limiting several as well in the next batch.
Awesome, cool. I'm gonna jump over to the swap and see what this is about here. Just a super basic function.
I believe you won't be able to swap because unfortunately Solana has at least of 0.1 Solana to swap. So like it's about the Solana. So like you have to have like maybe if you can give me address, like I can send as well.
I can send it over here. 1 second. Easy.
Yeah, the problem is that like the Serum market has at the minimum quote of 0.1 Solana. So like the transaction will get failed if less than 0.1.
Makes sense. Learning new stuff here. Just give me 1 second. I will send this over here. Good thing we're on Solana and this will only take quite literally a second. So I'm sure we'll be able to just wait here and we will see the balance update just like that.
Yeah. Super fast.
Yep. And then I'm just going to swap this nearly all to USDC. And you can just see here all the different tokens. So it looks like you guys have icons for some. Are you looking to update all these other ones at some point soon, I imagine?
Yeah, the thing is like we can have for each cryptocurrency specific icons. Like what we decided to do is like if you buy a specific one, you're gonna get like there will be several with specific icons, but like other than that, they will be all potatoes. So like maybe if they become a bear currency in the future, we're gonna update them as well.
That makes a lot of sense. That's cool. So I'm just gonna do here a swap to DFL. Oh, accidentally clicked right there. But I'm just gonna do a swap to DFL. Seems pretty fitting. So we'll just jump there. You can do 50%. You also just have this nice slider. Looks like you could throw the values in it as well, which works out. So I'm just gonna slide this up to about 90%, except I lost my Solana. And there we go. And just swap that, except too much SOL I'm using. Oh. Did I not send enough?
To pay fees? I'm not. Yeah, actually, it's not because So yeah, Solana creates, it requires 0.02 because to kind of, if you are kind of
0.1
first
to
time
create it.
swapping. So yeah, we're gonna be adding all these specific questions. I mean, like specific information needed. I believe you have to accept right now.
Yeah, I was just waiting for that.
Also,
I'm on
you have,
multiple wallets. Hold up.
yeah.
Don't
There are
worry.
a
This
lot
is
of
just
problems.
so. What is good to point out here, though, I think it's important. One, this is an alpha, right? Like you guys don't
Yep.
even have this out, so I think that's incredibly important. Two, it's to show that like I've been in DeFi for the past year, and I'm on a platform trying to swap, and this isn't specific to DeFi lands. This is something where like this is going on all of Solana, and they are looking to make it a little bit more easier, a bit more intuitive. So the swap just went through there. I love that little.
Yeah, if you come out, you're
trade
gonna see the
offer.
cars moving around. It's like,
Oh, yep.
yeah, like this is the car like from your house to your market, and the vice versa as well. So it brought the SOL to market, and the kind of in exchange it got the DFL in the house.
Yep. So I can go back over here now. And you can see my DFL in there. A little bit of USDC. So
yeah,
that's super sweet there. I'm curious. I just want to jump over to the farms maybe because that's obviously fun. Jump over to the board. We can see the farms that are going on, and these are all just from pulling straight from Radium, correct?
Yep, they are from the Radium. Maybe that we can plant the DFL USDC actually. You can, let's see, there is a DFL USDC. You can click directly from there as well, but just gonna DFL. You can click on that, and it will just redirect to the laboratory.
Awesome. That's
so you can click on the max. So max is basically you're gonna get the maximum of from both of them.
Yep.
And you can just gonna make the seeds out of it.
Awesome. And then this is just going in, depositing the LP here on Radium.
Yep.
So now you would be a liquidity provider, and then we'll take it over to the actual farms and deposit it. So something I can just say from the get-go is like just using this UI is a lot more fun than Radium. Like Radium can be confusing. It can be a bit maybe clunky, and not to say, sorry, Erwin, not to say this is perfect, but right, you guys are developing it with the specific purpose of making it user friendly. You guys don't have to worry about too much of the back end, thinking about the DeFi and kind of the smart contract end of things, because you guys are looking to implement it, really focus on the user experience. So here you can see I have the DFL USDC seed, or the LP token. They're called seeds here on DeFi Land, as Erwin was explaining. And then we can just go ahead and plant that. Of course, another transaction here we need to approve. And then now that'll be in the farm. And I take it I could go back to the house and check it out.
So that's just actually, you're just taking some time to plant, I guess. It must come out. It must. I believe so. Yeah, maybe sometimes what happens is that sometimes there might be our problem, or sometimes the blockchain kind of gets kind of delayed responses as well. So yeah, I believe
my seeds didn't get to plant.
If you refresh the game, I believe it will be kind of rising. So yeah, I believe it was the things. Sometimes that we get the response from the blockchain some kind of later, then it just gets it just requires some time to actually grow.
Give me 1 second here. I'm just gonna jump in real quick with my email. But yeah, I think
that's why it's an alpha.
I think something that's incredibly notable is just one that we're able to jump on here and showcase the platform, and that it is on alpha, right? This is something that you guys are still looking to develop, and just working out these kinks. These things aren't perfect. You guys are the first people doing this on Solana. Let me jump back on and share my screen here. But I think what is important is just the idea of it. Something I am going to do is just turn down the music a little bit. I saw someone in chat asking me to turn it down as well. So apologies for that. But go back here. Did you want me to go back to the farm and maybe we see if it's
maybe
planted?
we can see. Maybe we can click on that. And we're gonna see. So yeah, it didn't go. I believe that was the. Let's just actually. Let's try again. If it actually has the same problem, yeah, we're gonna have to hotfix that for sure.
There we go.
Oh,
It's
here we have.
planted. So this is cool. Is this icon going to change for
Yep.
every seed or LP you have?
Yeah, there are
Nice.
different kind of plans for those, and then plus you get the achievement progress as well. So
Yep.
yeah, as you see, if you click on that, you're gonna see some kind of stats for the farm as well. Uh, you have a total amount that you have planted, plus you have a grown amount, which is pretty small. And you can harvest these stuff. You can add more some seeds, or you can unplant those seeds from the so unstake basically, or you can kind of hide those kind of with this to go in the like it just doesn't show. Or you can anytime
Gotcha.
you can actually make them appear as well. And if for the people who don't really like the camera transitions in the which just gets closer, we can actually turn that from the settings. You have a quick mode. If you click on the quick mode at the end, like you're gonna get the as you click on that, the UI
Okay.
pops out. Yeah, that's better, I guess.
Yeah, that's cool. It's sort of something I noticed people were complaining about for some of these other games. It's just like, why would I do this if I'm doing it for ease of use? But I think little features like this make that kind of do away with that. Something I want to touch on while we're in here, and I'll probably jump out, maybe jump into a mini game here just for a second. But I was recently watching Gary Vee and Mark Zuckerberg just talking about the metaverse and what's moving forward. So I think there's multiple layers here, but I think a really big thing we're touching, like they touched on, was just how looking at something as simple as how big Farmville was able to get, or just
Yep.
idle gaming was able to get early on, is very, I think, indicative of what things like DeFi Land can become. Just the appeal that those things have, and seeing people like Mark Zuckerberg and Gary Vee, who are very sort of tuned into what's going on in tech and very much have their ear to the ground. I'm curious what sort of your stance on that is. Opening it up, what is kind of your idea of the metaverse? I mean, it looks like you guys already have this first iteration of here, but what sort of does it mean moving forward once you guys have all of these basic functions mastered?
Yeah, definitely. So I totally believe that the metaverse is some kind of future, but it's not. So I believe, like, no disrespect to other different projects about the VR and the metaverse in VR, AR, some kind of complex AAA games are kind of early for now. I believe if we want to actually see the this kind of game becoming popular on the metaverse, we should kind of start with the easier stuff, like such as the farm wheel, like the mini games and stuff, to actually get the retail on board, because like you cannot really make the super complex games and then expect the retail to actually on board. Like I don't really believe that we're gonna see the VR metaverse coming super fast. But I believe with this game, something like the DeFi Land, we're gonna see more of those games coming. That people will get to used to it then, and then we're gonna just get the games such as VR or maybe some metaverse like the Ready Player One. So this actually the game that you're actually playing. It's just the really small game that we're gonna have several of them in the future. And the thing is that right now it's in the opens in the UI, separate UI, but we're gonna do it that all the different mini games will be in the land. It's like every game will be happening through the landscape itself, like in the 3D. It's like this kind of shooting the crows, like the fishing and everything will be happening in not only UI but also in the land. I believe that will be really cool as well.
Yeah. And I mean, it may sound a bit cliche, but just like my stance on this is looking at this is these were games that at some point in time people would actually play these for a very long time. And I think what's very innovative is just understanding that these are all underlying being hooked up to blockchain and DeFi mechanics, which is kind of like this next frontier of innovation. So even though like, okay, I have a small issue trying to approve my transactions, whatever, this is ultimately what DeFi Land is looking to make more seamless. So I definitely think that shouldn't go understated. And just the fact that like this is incredibly user friendly, just in the sense of like, I know if I show someone this, they're going to be way more inclined to mess around with it, try to figure out what's going on, versus something like just sending them straight on Radium. And the first thing they see
Yep.
is just like all these pairs. They don't know what's going on. They see crazy high yields that shouldn't intimidate them, but they intimidate people. So I think that shouldn't be understated. I definitely like also the idea that you guys are looking to aggregate a bunch of things in this single platform. So it's not, look, we're just making a swap and we want to be the best swap. It's no, we understand that, okay, we think we're better at UI. Let's go ahead and bring everything together under this nice umbrella. So I think that's super notable. I don't know if there's anything else you want me to quickly touch on, but overall, I think this is just super cool. It looks like we have other features here that will be coming in the near future, and that might segue me to one of my other questions. Do you have anything else I want to jump on here before I pop out?
Yeah, like there are like I believe we have kind of covered the kind of major part of that. Like we have some features like the transferring some funds, like the feedback and stuff, like the bug reports and the price feeds. But like uh, mainly like the people would get the idea of what it means and soon. Basically, tomorrow we're gonna announce that if you are a kind of DFL holder, you will be able to get the access to the game. Or if you are not, if you're also not active in our Discord and stuff, you will be able to play the public launch of the game in just 2.5 weeks. So definitely just gonna wait for some time, and you will be able to try out the game yourself. And we have so many different stuff to edit, and kind of soon we'll be also publishing the game. I mean, like game document where we're gonna be saying the detail, the roadmap, what's about the crafting, mini games, and many different stuff. So yeah, really appreciate you having me here, and thanks for the really great interview for sure.
Yeah. And just to finish it off here, I'm curious, what are you most excited for coming up in the future? So you guys obviously have this working platform here, but what are some features you're looking forward to? And I believe you guys are coining it the V2 sort of. What's something I know you guys are just getting to the V1, some of these users, but it sounds like once you guys get this all buttoned up, you guys are going to be ready to keep hitting the ground running. What are you most excited about?
Yeah, I believe there are many different good features coming, but there are two my favorite ones. The one is definitely the educational lane, so like the practice mode for the crypto users with really good explanation videos and the animations is the my dream to come really good to be really good. So I believe that's the one I'm looking forward for most, and also the game with the crafting mechanics, or there will be crafting so you can kind of craft your fishing rod to create it even like to have a better chance to catch a better fish and stuff. That will be like the two of my favorite features going into the future. Like I believe we both will be delivered in 2022, and like the whole really good gameplay will be in 2022 for sure.
Definitely. Well, Erwin, I definitely appreciate you coming on. I'm all done here. I know there's one last question here that is a little bit off topic, but it's definitely incredibly important. Someone was asking about tools for burning tokens and how will DFL be subject to inflation. I think something to note if I was looking at the tokenomics is you guys do have a capped supply. So you
Yep.
may not even need a burn, but I'm curious if you have anything to address classical music there in the chat.
Yeah, it's like there will be it's like we will be distributing this kind of all everything basically charged in DFL, like the crafting, or maybe you want some level ups, or you want to kind of have a better building and stuff. You will be charged in DFL somewhat. So like these tokens will be some percentage of that will be either burned or either distributed to the stakers. So I believe they kind of distributing that to the stakers is kind of better way to go for. But let's say if by the end of the 2022, I believe we're going to be transforming to the governance stuff. So let's say if the players decide that they want it to be burned, it will be burned, I guess. So yeah, I believe mainly for now it will be distributing it to the stakers and the revenue as well.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And it's cool that you guys have mechanisms in the platform to generate some sort of source of revenue in DFL and redistribute it to create some actual yields that don't rely on just token incentives. So I think that's incredibly notable. I don't have anything else for you, Erwin. Maybe you can just do a final sign off. I really appreciate you coming on. We're definitely going to keep an eye out for what's going on at DeFi Land. I definitely just picked up some DFL tokens, so I
Appreciate that.
may or may not be picking up some more. Not financial advice, but definitely looking to just mess around with the platform some more. And it looks like a great time, and I'm definitely excited to see other people be able to jump on once it goes public. Other than that, Erwin, thanks so much for joining us today. And yeah, we'll
Appreciate
definitely
that.
keep in touch.
Appreciate that a lot, and thanks a lot for having me here, and thanks for the really good questions. It just actually, I believe, if anyone was listening to this, would get a lot of information about us and what are we planning, where we are coming from, as well as what the plan is and why we're kind of different from other platforms. So yeah, thanks for that, and yeah, definitely looking forward for the maybe another call in several months after the launch as
Yes,
well.
definitely
Awesome.
looking for some updates. Thanks so much, Erwin. Awesome, guys. So I'm just going to wrap this up here. That was a great stream with DFL Erwin, the project lead at DeFi Land. And I think there are a few really notable things here. One of the most was the fact that they're looking to build a UI that's seamless for everyone. And while we jumped in there and we did see we hit a couple hiccups, this is nothing new outside of DeFi. And that's sort of what this platform is for. Erwin was nice enough to give us a code, let us test it here on stream, and I'm sure they were able to get some insight as well and pick up on that. So I think that's something that is incredibly notable, especially with the fact of sort of the meta narrative going on with Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook and his sort of posturing towards this idea of the metaverse, however vague it is. But seeing someone like DeFi Land take a very simple idea of gamification and making it very intuitive and adding it to DeFi seems like a massive on ramp into the space. I think Erwin did an amazing job at describing what's going on at DeFi Land. So I'll kind of just leave that there. For anyone who's watching, please go ahead and subscribe, like the video. We're going to have a ton more content coming out on DeFi Direct. We're all into DeFi, GameFi, multi-chain. We've covered content mainly on Solana and BSC, but we're going to be branching out to Avalanche, Kronos, Ethereum, some other networks. So definitely stay tuned, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll definitely be keeping an eye out on DeFi Land to get you guys some of the latest news.